up for the second day of shooting for the Trade Tech interviews.
So what have you thought so far? We've done one day of test shooting.
It's fun.
It's fun. Okay, good.
It's really wonderful. It's much less involved in dental surgery, as you promised.
Right.
Everything has so far come true.
Yeah, I think what's kind of exciting to me is that you can create a makeshift studio, right, with relatively simple tools that are pretty accessible. 3 cameras, a few tripods, a couple lights, and a very simple green screen, and you can create the illusion that people are actually in a studio.
But having now done more with less, we look forward to doing more with more.
Yeah. But you know, in the age of YouTube, in the age of streaming video, it's so democratic now.
It is.
I mean, it has, this technology was pretty inaccessible before. I remember when I was a teenager, it was a big deal for me. I went down and I signed up with the local cable access channel because I was so excited to be involved in something related to television. And they had this as a service. It was something that the cable companies, local cable companies, were required, because they were a monopoly, were required to pay to have this cable studio set up for free. And you could go in there and record broadcasts for your local cable channel.
And now we live in an age where the barriers to entry are much lower.
Yeah, much lower.
And you know, this, as you said the other day, this could be somebody's garage.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's not.
Yeah.
It's a nice studio set.
But it is interesting. Yeah, it really has opened things up for people, and now we're at a point where people can live broadcast from their phones. They can edit video together and add special effects with very little expense. So very interesting to me.
Yeah. So what is the next step for the digital media department?
Well, we're growing, and we're trying to ramp up the amount of production we're doing. We're also hopefully going to be moving into a new space in the next few years, where we will have a more permanent studio. But we've been really lucky particularly in terms of the post-production equipment that we've been able to buy. But developing more opportunities for production and special effects work, animation. Those are things that we really like to see in the pipeline in the future.
Do you have any particular goals for the next semester or two that you're working on that you can share?
Well,
because some of those goals are secret and should remain secret.
There really are no secrets.
Okay.
We are trying to launch more courses,
right.
And one of the big things that we're going to be doing is we're going to be offering certification in our Adobe program. So students here at Trade Tech will be able to take the exam to get certified in Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere, Adobe Premiere, and eventually After Effects. They're coming out with an After Effects certification.
So if a student is watching this, a potential student is watching this, and they're interested in finding out more, what would be their next step?
Well, first of all, go online to lattc.edu, and you can fill out an online application there. It's entirely free, and that's the first step to doing it. And then we'll make an appointment for you with our counselor, and we'll be happy to give you a tour of the facilities. So just contact us there.
Okay. Someone may be watching this and think, I would love to get into television or digital media, but that's not for me. I couldn't do that.
I think most people who have been involved with the program will say that even though there's some initial intimidation with the technology and some of it can be a little overwhelming at first, it's actually pretty accessible, and that with a little practice, it actually you can do some pretty amazing things. So.
What would be the most important thing for a student to become successful in digital media and go on to a career in something touching the entertainment industry? What if you could pick one or two things, what would be something, an important indicator that might be a career path for them?
Well, first of all, I think you have to be, it can be a very glamorous industry, but the reality is that the people who are working in it day to day work really hard. So you have to have a really strong work ethic. You have to be willing to get up very early in the morning and work till very late at night. You have to be willing to work long hours and travel a lot. So there's a lot to it that's strenuous and challenging that people don't necessarily expect. You have to have a lot of discipline. You have to be able to walk onto a set and comport yourself in a way that demands respect and also shows people that you're serious. The best sets, when you see them, are really well-oiled machines, and they don't have time or patience to deal with something that might throw things off. So if you're someone who's not able to work within the system, work on a team, you'll pretty readily get a reputation for not being someone who's a good fit.
So attitude and work ethic over technical.
Well, that's the second thing.
Okay, talk about that.
So if you have the technical skills, if you have what it takes, and you're willing to work hard, and you have creative instincts, strong creative instincts, all those things, if you have all those, you will be very successful.
So beyond trade tech, where would a student go after they're finishing their associate's degree here in the digital media department?
Yeah. So so there are a number of options that are open to you. First of all, there are a number of great film schools where you can get a bachelor's degree or a master's degree in production. But also, if you're interested in going straight to work, there are any number of opportunities to go into production at all different levels. You can go into the film and television industry. There's a lot of production coming back to Los Angeles. But also, there's a lot of people who are self-starters, who are entrepreneurs, who make money as videographers. So there's lots of different opportunities to make a living that way. Plus, there are a lot of media ventures out there where, for example, if you look at video games now, if you look at websites or mobile apps, there's so much video integrated into that. So that these are skills that you can use that are in areas that aren't traditional film and television films.
Okay. So, Joe Guerreri, Chairman of the Digital Media Department at Trade Tech, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you. Thanks for interviewing.